in restorative justice practices and serves in ministry for incarcerated youth. He's currently a substitute teacher at Second Baptist School and is about to become the father of a little girl. Please welcome Mr. Isaiah Harvey McDuffie.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing? First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to my sponsors, Lo-Fi Beats, Quizlet, and Rate My Professor. Let's get started. Thank you, Dr. Withy. In the fall of 2019, I had the pleasure of coming to UHCO. In my first semester, I decided to take a step of faith, and I applied to the Harris County Juvenile and Probation Department. The very next day, the facility administrator for Harris County Youth Village came to Professor Joyce Taylor's juvenile delinquency class. I had no idea that she was coming, and at this point, I didn't believe in coincidences. In the end of her speech, she told us that Youth Village was hiring. She told me to stop by for a tour. I got hired, and my life hasn't been the same ever since. And now there is an unknown number of kids who can say the same thing. This graduation doesn't mark the end, but the beginning of a new era of individuals who aspire to inspire. Class of 2022, I want you to do yourselves a favor. Take this time to cherish this moment forever. I know that we're all looking forward to the post-graduation celebrations, post-graduation vacations, but in just a matter of an hour or two, this moment that you've worked so hard for will be nothing more than a memory. So embrace this. As kids, we wanted nothing more than to grow up. Boy, were we stupid. We eventually went to high school and they complained about wanting to be done, and we made oaths that we would never go back. Then we graduated, went on to college, and eventually, at some point, we began to miss our friends. Friday night lights, theater, arts, cheer, whatever it is that you put your heart into. And while in college, the only thing we did was await this day. And many of us will graduate, eventually look back on our college days, which for many of us is the peak of physical prime and optimal freedom. And after graduation, many of us will say, man, I can't wait to get married. Then you find the love of your life, and a few arguments later, as well as some sacrifices, you're thinking to yourself, man, I sure do wish I'd appreciated my singlehood. Where my wife at? Not that you would want a divorce, but perhaps instead of spending your days wishing that you were in the next season of your life and complaining about being single, you should have enjoyed that season of your life. Then you and your spouse will say, I want a little one. And 9 months later, here comes this screaming bundle of joy. And though children are beautiful gifts, we still tend to forget the beauty of cherishing that season of freedom as couples. And after a year or two of being up at 3 a.m., cleaning a blown-out diaper with spit up all over your clothes, you begin to think, man, I can't wait until you're a little bit older and you could go off to school. Get out of my hair. In the blink of an eye, they will. And the next thing you know, you'll be watching them walk across a graduation stage. And meanwhile, you'll be sitting there with tears in your eyes and love in your heart as you watch your little baby walk across the stage. And you'll be wishing that you could hold them in your arms as a baby one more time. If you don't believe me, take this time to look your parents in the eyes. One of my students once asked me, Mr. McDuffie, you are always motivating us to give us everything we have and look forward to the goals of tomorrow. How can we then focus on today as well? And I responded, it's all about balance. Life is like a French braid, multiple parts woven together as a work of art. Continue to strive. That's what got you here. Go make a difference in the lives of others and cherish every moment, cherish every season. Go be a light in the world. Your income will eventually run dry, but the impact on this world can last forever. The distance in which the echo of your life travels through the canyons of time is completely dependent on how much effort you put into it. You are here because of the impact, whether positive or negative, that someone has had in your life. I want to take a moment because over the last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to get to know some of my classmates. And one thing that I noticed is that not everyone has had the privilege of growing up with a support system like the one that I've had. Some of my classmates heard me say a minute ago, look at your parents. And they weren't able to do that. But they've done a lot of looking over their life. They've looked at their broken communities. They've looked at their broken family dynamics. And most importantly, they've looked in the mirror and they asked themselves a question. Do I want more? Do I want more for myself? Do I want more for my children? Do I want more for my children's children? If that resonates with you, then today we celebrate because you said yes. And some of you even did so with honors. Let me tell you something else. Regardless of whether or not you have extra stoles placed on your shoulders, what I said resonates with you, then you are worthy of the highest of honors. Because you did what couldn't be done. You defeated the odds. You refused to just be another average statistic. You had the courage, the audacity to climb up your mountain. And whether you realize it or not, you have given others permission to do the same. This is a day of gratitude. Today, I stand here with a kente stole placed on my shoulders. I was not born in Africa, nor were my parents. But once upon a time, in a not too distant past, people who shared my bloodline were brutally punished or even killed for dreaming of standing on a platform like this, for dreaming of having a cap and having a gown like this, for dreaming of having a hope, having a future like this. So to those who came before me, this is for you. To our parents and our spouses and our children and our children's children, this is for you. To our teachers, coaches, and administrators, this is for you. On a personal note, to my kids at Harris County Youth Village and Second Baptist who are looking for role models, this is for you. To my parents who gave me everything they had, thank you. This is for you. To my wife, my best friend and my rock, I love you and this is for you. To my little baby girl who I will have the privilege of meeting in just a few weeks, Daddy loves you and this is for you. And most importantly, to God Almighty, through whom all things are possible, the glory belongs to you. Congratulations, class of 2022. We made it, but we still got work to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDuffie. We look forward to hearing from you and learning about your wonderful contributions to our community and beyond. And after those remarks, I have no doubt you will be highly successful. I now call